Hello, welcome back to my corner of the internet. As you guys can see from the title, today we're doing a get ready with me, you guys. Dang, I look really tan today. I think this color of shirt makes me look really tan. It is one of those days where I want to follow up with you guys on my drugstore get ready with me video, give you guys my final thoughts on all the products that I used that day that were new to me. So I want to share that with you guys, as well as do a little story time, because boy, do I have a lot to say. Because I have, oh my goodness, it's never uneventful on this side of the internet. It really isn't. So strap on, because this will probably be a big video. I am going to kind of give you guys my final thoughts on the products that I used that were new. So ones that I wanted to update you guys on. First and foremost was, I believe I used this one, the Maybelline Stay Put Eye Primer. You guys, phenomenal. Again, if you can't or don't want to spend the money on the MAC, this is the one that I would say go for. It's really, really good. The MAC is just a little bit better for me personally because I have very oily lids. But this one, if I'm in a pinch or I can't, for whatever reason, afford that one, I would go for this one. So yeah, 100% I would go for that one. All right, the other product I want to update you guys on real quick before my story time comes along is this. So this is the Maybelline Super Lock Brow Glue. The first time I opened it up, I mean, phenomenal. As I have been using it, I have been noticing that white cast situation that a few of you guys had mentioned in the comment section, and I have seen on the reviews. As you guys can see, the wand's already turning a little bit white. Okay, so how I've been able to make this work is I prime my brows before I fill them in, because it allows me to use less product at the end of the day. Because I have fuller brows, I really don't need to fill in too much. If I were to go in with a brow pencil or a powder and then put this over, I could see the white cast. But this is the way that I do it. I have nothing in my brows and I'm just brushing this through to set my brows, because this allows my hair to go where I need it to go. So then when I do fill in, I don't need to fill in too much, and my brows are already set. So you don't see any white cast. Can you guys see that? Like, I don't see anything chunky or white. I only see it on the actual wand itself. So this is like, when I brush it through, you can kind of see a little bit of the whiteness. But then as I'm working with the product, it kind of dissipates. It dries up. And I don't really go in again with this brow product after I put in my actual, like, I fill in my brows, because my brows are just so full that they just stay put. But I found that this is the way that I do my brows, and I don't have any white cast. You guys can see that. I don't have anything white on here. So for me, I see it on the actual wand, but it doesn't really do that on my actual brow. So this sets, and then I just fill in. And then if I need to, I just do a little bit of the arc up here, but I haven't had a problem. So for me, this is a winner. I can see how some people might not like it, because if you do it the opposite way, it may end up being more of a white cast if you put too much. But as you guys see, I really run it through my brows and I can feel it, and it dries up, so then I don't have to worry about it. So that's that when it comes to the brows. So for me, that's a winner, but I get why some people don't like it. So I wanted to put it out there with the way that I use it, just in case you want to try my way and see if you like it that way better. I'm just going to go ahead and do my eyes. I didn't use anything new for the eyes. It was just what I had in my collection. So that's exactly what I'm going to do today. So the eyes are not the focus. Nothing that I need to add to you guys for this. So anyway, as you guys know, we had family staying with us, and the point of family staying was to visit. So let me just set the tone. So Mr. Man, I have two mother-in-laws. Yeah, pray for me, guys. Pray for me. And one lives in Florida, one lives here. The one that lives in Florida came up because her mom, Mr. Man's grandmother, fell and broke her femur bone, so she was in rehab. So they all the kids were here to take turns to help with her. She is, I think, leaving rehab as I speak right now. She is going home, so she's not there anymore. So she came down here. She always comes to visit us anyway, but she came down here specifically to spend time with her mom. So she did. The majority of the time she was here, she spent it helping her mother in rehab and giving her sister a break and her brother. So she, like 2 days, we all had the day off to do something with her. So one of the days we decided we're gonna go canoeing. So to paint the picture, Mr. Mann's mother, she lives by herself. She's not married. She doesn't live with anyone, has no pets. She's just literally on her own, and that's the way she likes it, which is fine. So she's not used to constantly on the go, like stuff, because, you know, like I tell you guys all the time, we're a family that's constantly on the go, constantly doing stuff, running around, making sure that the kids are taken care of, and they got to do what they got to do. So anyway, Mr. Mann and I suggested, well, let's go do something fun, something she doesn't really do because she's always home on her own. She goes to work and then comes home, basically. So just paint that picture of a lifestyle, right? You're not moving around as much. You're not really motivated to do much. And if you're in Florida, it's really, really hot. So there's not much that you can do certain times of the year. So we tell her, well, we want to take you canoeing. If you guys ever been canoeing, you guys know that you need to use a lot of muscle, a lot of like thought process, because when you have certain things, like certain movements you got to do, you got to pay attention to the current, that kind of stuff. So it can be relaxing, but you also got to pay attention to stuff. So I'm just painting this picture for you guys. And she's also not the biggest fan of water, but she wants to go because she wants to hang out with her grandkids, wants to hang out with us. So she says, yes, we'll do it. All right. So we're having a grand old time. Mr. Mann and her end up on a boat, but Mr. Mann's flaw was that he put her in the back, and the back is where you steer. She's never been canoeing, so she doesn't know how to steer. She doesn't know how to do any of that. So that was his downfall, because I had little lady with me, little man, and I was the one that was steering in the back. So I knew that I was going to be okay. I knew I was going to be fine because I was smart enough to do that. He wasn't. So we're going around, and, you know, after a few attempts, because my kid can be stubborn, my teenager can be stubborn. So she finally listens to me, and we're the boat that isn't running into much, and we're doing a good job. First thing that happens is we end up, you can stop. There's like certain embankments like you could stop at because they have campgrounds on here. So we ended up stopping in one of them. Mr. Mann stopped his boat first, so I'm coming in. Obviously his mom's not used to this, so she gets out of her boat with her flip-flops. And as you guys know, like your flip-flop gets suction at the end of like water. So she gets out, and as soon as I'm about to get near the embankment, she literally trips and falls face forward, like flat on her face on the sand. And the sand has rocks. So I'm like, crap. Well, Mr. Mann is just standing there, and instead of grabbing my boat so that I don't bump into them and then hit her more, he lets me go. So my boat bumps into their boat, which pushes her a little bit more. So I'm like, oh my gosh, we just literally tore her up. So I see her turn around and she's laughing. So I'm like, okay. So I don't know if she's laughing for embarrassment. I don't know if she's laughing because she thought it was funny. I don't know, right? So we're like, are you okay? She's like, no, I'm fine. You know, it's just my luck. And I'm like, you should have never wore your flip-flops when you get out. This is why I told you to take off your flip-flops. So she finally gets it, and we sit down, we eat, we relax, we take pictures. It's a really nice day. The kids are having fun in the river. So then a funny thing is, little man was about to switch boats, but I warned him. I said, you know what, buddy? Because he's my worrier. I said, buddy, stay with me because mom knows what she's doing, and I'm not going to let you flip. I said, your dad's just going to not think about you in that sense. So stay with me. Well, I'm kind of glad I did, because I think the kid would have been traumatized. So we go, we're going. And when I tell you that every single branch, every single tree, every single rock, every single log, you name it, they ran into it. This was something that wasn't new, but I did use. That was drugstore, you guys, that I still love. So I'm using it today, still love it. I can't find this online, so I think that this is no longer in existence, which is a shame. But I wanted to show you guys that I am still using this. So anyway, his mom goes, and I keep turning around because they're literally like, instead of like going gentle, it's like all the way over here, running into everything. And then there was a group of like, I would say like couples, but it was like younger couples, and they all were in, because you can go in canoe or kayak. They were all on kayaks. So it was a lot of them. So we let them go because I was just like, I don't feel like fighting with them, because one of them kind of forced us on the edge, like my boat, and I got pissed because I'm like, I have a kid with me. You see that I'm trying to get through, but then you want to hurry up and get in front of me. So I got pissed, and that the one woman, I like purposely held myself on the side, and then the one person was like, oh, do you guys need help? And I'm like, nope. I said, I'm waiting for you guys to go. She's like, well, there's a lot of us. And I'm like, I said, I'm well aware of that. And she knew I was pissed. I'm like, you guys are so disrespectful. Like you can't even like let people go. So anyway, this, you guys, I'm telling you, I love this. This does not oxidize on my face. And I think it's because for the first time, at least in my experience with drugstore, there is a one that's more neutral. This doesn't pull as yellow as other ones, which is why I'm a fan. I think this is why I'm a fan, mainly because of the undertone. It doesn't oxidize on me, and it's neutral. So it's not as yellow, and I'm very, very happy with this. I really, really love it. I think I am going to try it for the winter time, so I can see how it works during the winter. But in the summer, it gives a really nice glow to my skin without it being super oily. And I'm telling you, I think I realize why I like it so much, not just because of the finish, because I'm pretty good at working with finishes on foundations. I'm pretty good with that. Like, that's not one of my make it or break it's. It's more of the oxidation aspect of it that I can't control. And this, I love it. I love it. It's why I like it. I think it's not only the formula, the way that it blends out, but it's also mainly because this is a neutral based one. This, finally, like, drugstore got it. I don't think many other ones, they're more yellow based, but this is one that I would repurchase. Absolutely. This is like one that I would keep. And I love the fact that it's not super matte and it's not super glowy. It's like perfect. 100% a winner. So expect me to get a winter shade because I love that one. I really, really do. All right, I'm just using this. You guys know my love with this one. Back to the story, you guys. So we are not that far off from finishing off. We probably have like a good 20 minutes left in our trip. And we decide, we're ahead, like me and little lady and little man are ahead of the game. So we decide to go first in this one. Like there's like a bark, a tree bark. So we decide to go first. And unfortunately, no matter what you do, you're going to get stuck on here. So then we got stuck, and I see Mr. Man coming behind us. So I tell my oldest, get out of the boat, pull us over, because I don't want your dad to bump into us and then him tip us over, because they couldn't control their boat. They were going way too fast. Again, I think it's because I put my mother-in-law in the back and she just didn't understand the concept of steering and not pedaling at full speed at all times. Mr. Man now admits that that was his fault. But so I go ahead and I tell her to get out because I didn't want them to hit us. Well, as she gets out to move our boat, they're going way too fast. So they go to the end, and I'm watching it happen in like slow motion. I still can remember it in my head. My mother-in-law, they're running into the tree, and because the back of the boat obviously hits the trees last, she grabs onto a thick branch and she doesn't let go. Picture it. She doesn't let go. And as she's still holding it, the boat is still going because they're going way too fast. The boat is still going. As she's holding it, the branch snaps because, again, like I told you guys, she doesn't move a lot. So she's not in the best of shape, let's just say. So because of her weight, the thick branch snaps. She goes in, and I told her, I said, you look like a dumpling. Like her legs, she curved like the letter U. Her bottom went down first, and like her head and legs like clapped together. She looked like a little dumpling going down. And I'm just like, did she just go down? And of course, this is the spot of the river where it's the deepest, because everywhere else it's super shallow. The highest it goes up to is like your thighs. And this was the deepest part. So she goes down and she's not coming back up for a hot second. So we're all like, what the? She finally comes up and again, she panics. She panics and Mr. Man tells her to just hold on to the boat and calm down because there's no way that if he gets out because of the way she was holding the boat, the canoe, she was going to flip it over and then Little Miss was going to fall in. Thankfully, Little Miss is our swimmer, so she'd be fine, but I didn't want her to freak out because her grandmother was freaking out. So we tell her to hold on. All while this is happening, there is these girls that are at a campground. They see it all happen, so they swim over to see if we need any help because they heard my one kid yell out that she fell in the water. So I'm just standing there. I'm trying to function my boat all at the same time. So we get out of the area that we were stuck at, but the current is taking us. So I was like, okay, well, I don't want to sit on the side over here because there was nothing for me to hold. It was like an open area because the girls were swimming there. So we're taking it extra slow. Mr. Man brings the boat. He gets out of the water. He gets the boat to the edge and then we start to drift off. So I was like, I told my oldest, I'm like, let's just take it easy so they can catch up to us because I honestly thought, no joke, that we were going to get to the end and I was going to get a phone call saying, tell the driver to come meet us over here because she refuses to get back on the boat. Like she was traumatized. My mother-in-law was traumatized. She already doesn't like the water. And then for us to do this, like looking back, we're all laughing at it. It was hilarious. Like watching her go down. She almost lost her eyeglasses. Thankfully she grabbed them. But it was just like the way that she fell, it was more like common sense, like the way, but her body can't move that way because she doesn't do these kind of things every day. So that's why it got to her. So they finally catch up to us and I'm like, and I told them, I said, I thought you guys weren't going to get back on. So they tell us that they lost an oar, that the girls that were swimming at the campground, these were like older girls, they were like teenagers. They ended up swimming over to grab the oar from Mr. Man so then he can have it. So they found the oar. They got back on the boat. They took it easy. And you think that was the end. That was not the end, you guys. So we get to the finish line and I'm like, are you guys okay? So I get there first. Mr. Man gets there. And then his mother, she says, can you help me get out of the boat? So he grabs her to help her. But she gets one foot out of the boat and doesn't get the other foot out. So here's the one foot, here's the other foot Mr. Man's holding, and the boat's doing this. It's drifting away and she's refusing to get her foot out of the boat. So Mr. Man's like, get your foot out of the boat. She's just sitting there. Get your foot out of the boat. She's about to do a split. She finally opens her mouth and says, I have a Charlie horse. She's like, but how am I supposed to read your mind? You got to tell me this. So they're doing this. So of course she gets hurt yet again. For the third time, she gets hurt again getting out of the boat. Real quick, bronzer, phenomenal, you guys. Everything you guys have said about this bronzer, I completely and wholeheartedly understand. This is something that I can see being something that I keep in my collection for a long time. This is really, really good. This is the tone of it, everything about it. I'm going to see how it works in the wintertime. That's where I really want to see if I need to get a lighter shade or not. But so far, this is really, really good. I love this. So anyway, back to my story. She gets out of the boat and we're all standing there waiting for the bus to come pick us up. And I quietly take a picture of her because I showed Mr. Man how it started and how it ended because you could see it in her face. She was not happy. And then Mr. Man's like, maybe we shouldn't. And the good thing is she was a good sport about it. She was like, listen, I wanted to try it. I wanted to give it a shot. I know I don't like water and boats, but I wanted to do it with you guys. So she's like, yeah, I ain't doing this again though. She was very blunt and honest, like, nope, I'm never doing this again, but I'm happy that I did it. So I can say that I did it and now nobody can tell me otherwise. So at least she was a good sport about that. When I tell you that it's like one of those special services boats that they drag you on. They put the canoes and the kayaks in the back and you sit in the boat and they drive you back to the place to get your car. So I end up, like, it's 2 per seat. So the kids sit together. My oldest sits with her grandmother and then me and Mr. Man sit next to each other. The worst part is I sit there I just look at Mr. Man and we busted out laughing. We could not believe what just happened. Like, we have been canoeing for years. I mean, like, I remember when I was like a teenager, fresh out of high school, and we had like 20 people deep in canoes, and like, we've never had this kind of experience ever. We've had like canoes flip on us. But like, most of us are able to get up, flip over, you know what I mean? So we just picture yourself in an area where you're not supposed to be laughing. You're supposed to be quiet because you don't want to offend the person, and all you see is the body doing this because you're laughing so hard your whole body is chuckling, and you're like quietly dying of laughter, and tears are running down my face, to the point where the lady that was sitting next to us like literally stared at us thinking like, are you guys okay? Because we cannot stop laughing. We were dying, and I'm just like, I cannot believe this happened. Like, really, this just literally happened to us. So, and then all I thought is, man, all I need is for this woman to come back and say she pulled a muscle or strain or something. I'm like, we just literally wrecked her for this whole entire trip. We get back to the car. You guys, I can't believe, by the way, that this is like, after I started using, this is my last bottle. And I have the old G kind. It's gone. Like, do I really want to finish this off now? I want to compare it to the new one. I'm curious to know if it's going to have alcohol. I want to see the ingredients because this one does have alcohol. If the new one doesn't have alcohol, I might end up liking it. I don't know. So anyway, I forgot to put on blush. So we get back to the car and we look at her and we're like, are you sure you're okay? Like, everything's okay? And she was like, nope, I'm good. Thankfully, like, the next day, all she was like 2 minor bruises, no muscle pull, no nothing, which was a good thing. And then she admitted, like, because of her lifestyle and her body type, like, she needs to get in better shape. And I understand, like, you live by yourself, you don't have anybody to motivate you, you don't have that motivation on your own. Sometimes you need that push. And in our household, we're constantly on the go. You guys know that. We're constantly on the go, running around, moving around. So when she comes here, she gets a workout because we're like on the go all the time. The kids want to be outside playing around, running around, jumping around. So she does get her workout while she's here, because she even said it. Like, we took her to the boardwalk and we walked over 2 miles. She was like, wow, she was sweating. So for us, that's nothing, but for her, that's a lot. So she admitted it. She knew why the situation happened the way that it happened. And we didn't have to like say anything. And we told her, like, you know, we want you to live a lot longer. So we would hope that you would take this seriously. So needless to say, the hiking trip that I wanted all of us to go to did not happen because she wouldn't have been able to survive that. We would have had to call like a park ranger to come get us because she wouldn't have been able to continue. So yeah, you guys, we almost lost a family member on a canoe trip, which has never happened. Like, even every time Mr. Man and I bring it up, like, we just die laughing. And it's funny now, but at the time we were like, what is going on? Do we need to go in there and save her? Maybe this is the wake up call that she needed to get herself into somewhat of a healthier lifestyle. But yeah, it was interesting to say the least. Like, it's never happened to us. So I'm like still kind of baffled at what happened, because I didn't expect that. I knew that, you know, because we've had people come on the boats with us, because this isn't the first time we take people canoeing. We have had like, my aunt has come over, and my aunt is not a young spring chicken, and she was able to handle it. We had other people like that are not outdoorsy that were able to handle it. Like, this is the first time that this has actually happened to us. So, and let's just say that my youngest, little miss, she's kind of traumatized. She says she never wants to go in a canoe again, which Mr. Man and I are like, that's fine with us, because we can rent a kayak and just do it ourselves. Like, we're okay with it. My oldest learned how to finally row and listen to the person in the back, because she has a problem of just like going, and I'm trying to explain to her to follow the current. You don't need to row constantly. It could be just like a 1, or just to twist the boat around. So she finally got it. And this, at least this was the one canoe trip where I didn't have to constantly like argue with her, because she's stubborn and doesn't listen. So it worked out for my sake too, that I didn't have to worry about an obnoxious teenager not listening. So yeah, that was our one trip. And the interesting thing is that when we stopped by to eat, she refused to like get in the river. Like she didn't want to get in the river, because the river water is different from the ocean, obviously, because of the sap from the trees and things. So it turns the water brown. So people kind of get skittish about it. And I'm like, I'd rather get in a river, or a river, than a lake, because a lake is standstill and a river has a current. So it circulates like the ocean, and a lake, your crap literally sits there. I'd rather not get in a lake. Just got a tight line real quick. I'm just gonna put my mascara on. You guys, like I was saying, she didn't want to get in the river. So when she literally fell in the water and dunked herself from head to toe, I looked at her, I said, well, God had other plans for you, huh? You didn't want to get in. And he's like, nope, you're getting in. And the good thing is that she had a bathing suit on, because Mr. Man's like, just put on a t-shirt and shorts. So I'm like, nope, she needs a bathing suit. I said, you never know. And it's uncomfortable to have like heavy clothes on when you're wet. And thankfully she did, because she definitely needed it. Oh man, it was an interesting trip. So that was like one of the days that we did with her. Unfortunately, because she was in the rehab center often, and that's like a cesspool of germs, she ended up getting sick. So she lost 2-3 days in bed with a horrible head cold that I had to take care of her. And on top of that, I had to clean the whole house again to make sure that nobody else caught it. Thankfully, no one else caught it. But she did miss beach day with us, because we wanted to take her to the beach. Obviously, she wasn't going to get in the water, but she wanted to go with us. And we made up the boardwalk, because we did go to the boardwalk without her, but we did do it again. So she enjoyed that. And then unfortunately, because she was sick, she couldn't really see her mom that much until like the last 2 days. And she had to wear a mask because she didn't want to get her sick, because her mom also has a heart problem, like a heart condition. So she didn't want her to get sick while she was there. So I will say that every year we spend time with my mother-in-law from Florida, whether we go there or she comes here. And I will say, like, this is the first year, or her first vacation with us, that we don't actually spend every day with her. Because normally we're always doing stuff with her, but this time she mainly came for her mom, because her mom, actually, while she was here, she turned 85. And we don't know how much time we have left, because obviously her heart is not doing so great. And now with this fall, you know, every time an elderly falls, that's where everything starts to go downhill. So she made it a point to be here with her more than with us, which is fine. I don't mind that. But I do enjoy it. I will say that that mother-in-law, I do enjoy a lot. Let's do the lips. So she left already, which was sad. You know, I wish that she did live here. Maybe in the future she might end up moving over here. I don't know what her game plan is, but I feel I don't know, like I don't want to say too much, but I wish she was the one that lived here, because she really does help out a lot without me having to like ask or get a sarcastic answer or a passive aggressive answer. She's real, and the kids really enjoy the time with her. She's a very affectionate grandmother, and she'll try something even if she doesn't feel comfortable. She will try it, which, as you guys have heard, she did try. So yeah, it's easier for her to come here than for us to go there because of the cost. She lives in a 1-bedroom apartment, so we could not go over there and stay with her because it's just too tight. And just in case you're wondering, yes, they do give you life vests. She took hers off because she said she was hot and bothered for other reasons, so her life vest was off. So if she would have had it on, she wouldn't have panicked as much. She would have just bounced. But lesson learned, right? Lesson learned. All right, guys, that's it. That's all that I have. As I told you guys, you can see that my brows still don't have that white chunkiness, and I didn't need to fill in too much. I didn't need to do too much, and I don't get that white cast because I don't go back into it again. The foundation, phenomenal. I love it. The bronzer, I love. Anything that I used in that video, I will tell you that it lasted the whole entire time that I used it. And I have used it over and over and really enjoyed it. I love the finish of this. It just looks so nice. So I really do enjoy everything that I had. Thank you guys so much for watching. If there's any other drugstore, oh, I did write down my list of the cream and liquid bronzers that you guys suggested for me. So I have them down. So when I see a sale or when I save up a little bit more, I can go ahead and get them and try those out because I am excited for that. I am excited. All right, that's all that I had. Thank you guys for listening to me. And hopefully you guys don't think I am a cruel person for laughing, because every time I think about it, I still laugh. It's just, even now she laughs. So don't feel like we're laughing behind her back, because she is also laughing about it. Every time we bring it up, it's like our inside joke now. We made up and gave her pizza. Okay, guys, we gave her pizza. All right, guys, that's all that I have. Thank you guys so much for watching another video on the screen for your enjoyment. God bless. I'm out.